Morning, namaste. Welcome to morning practice. Please, as always, practice according to your conditions and your abilities and respect your limitations. And just think of the practice as an offering and imagine that all beings are experiencing this through you. So we try to deliver the best experience and try to avoid going to a place of pain or suffering, and so that we don't transmit that to others. So let's begin. Close the eyes and bring the attention within. At the moment of creation, God became part of all living beings everywhere. This divine essence is equally present in all forms, all throughout the endless universe. Attune your mind to the supreme divine consciousness that is within and all around us. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. So now let's do the mantra for purification to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. If you don't know it, just pretend you're chanting through the voice of the Guru. Move your lips, you derive all the benefits as though you're chanting it perfectly. If you do know it, do it with volume and conviction so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around. Om Pavitra Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yasmarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bhyantraha Sri. So now let's do some breathing techniques. Let's just do Kapalabhati to begin, just to oxygenate the blood and aerate the lungs and to stimulate the Muladhara chakra, and also this helps to clear this also helps to it's like a kriya. It helps to purify. It moves impurities from the lungs. So do it with vigor. Imagine you're throwing the belly button against the front of the spine. Concentrate mostly on the exhale. Don't worry about the inhale. The inhale will happen as a result of the pressure built up by the exhale. So just really work the diaphragm. Okay, so it looks like this. Try not to move the body too much. Keep the body relatively still. At the end of it, we'll do a breath retention. For the breath retention, we apply the throat in a root lock. For the root lock, contract the buttocks, push the belly button into the front of the spine. Imagine lifting the whole pelvic floor up towards the navel. For the throat lock, as you inhale, you want to raise the chest, fill up the lungs, so that when it comes time for the inhale, you just bring the chin down on the chest and the back can still remain straight. You still want to have a nice straight path for the prana to rise up. And then the chin to the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth will seal off the lock. The attention is at the space between the eyebrows. Watch the seat of divine perception located there. Hands in Jnana Mudra. Let's begin. Breathe out completely, and then begin when you're ready. Keep going, keep the nostrils wide open. Push all the air out of the lungs. Kumbhakan out. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Apply the locks. All activity of the mind, the body, and the emotions as though they were frozen. Try to keep your attention at the space between the eyebrows. Slowly exhale. In a controlled manner, try not to allow the breath to explode out of the body. Empty the lungs completely. Now from the solar plexus, your source of inner power, inhale it up to the crown, all the power. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Draw more power up from your inner source up to the crown on your next inhale. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. One more time up to the solar plexus. Draw even more of the power up there. Hold the breath for a moment. Imagine all that power being sent out to all beings now. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Breathe normally for a couple of cycles. Just observe the body, the mind, and the emotions, state of these. Have no concern or expectations of what you should or should not observe. Just be the witness watching everything. Now, after your next exhale, prepare for the next round and begin when you're ready. Feel the heat building. Remember, all movements mostly in the middle here. Push all the air out of the lungs. Take again a deep breath in. Right up to the top of the chest. And now bring the chin on the chest. Bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Contract the buttocks again. Push the belly button into the front of the spine. All the attention at the center of the forebrow. If your mind starts to wander, be unjudging, be unconcerned. Just keep bringing your mind back as many times as you need to the center of the forebrow. And release slowly, controlled exhale. From the solar plexus, inhale again up to the crown. Watch the power moving up there. Watch the breath moving through the body. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Keep using that visualization of the power rising up from the solar plexus up to the crown on the inhale. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. One more time, bring in more of the power up to the crown. Hold the breath for a moment again. Imagine that you're sending out the power to all beings to help all beings benefit from it. Everything you have meant to be shared. Exhale back to down to the solar plexus. Being established in your own power, continue to share it with everyone and all beings. Good. Now from here, just take a moment to just come into a state of silence and stillness in both the body and the mind. And through the practice of this, letting go of the expectations, letting go of the attachments to results, come more in a state that's conducive to allowing us to offer, to surrender to the intention of serving others. For the grace among all are those who serve, and serve from a place of selflessness. So we try to take that intention into our practice, offer up the practice, offer up all the postures. Imagine seeing God in all beings. Remember, it is through the forms that God manifests in this universe. So celebrate all the beautiful and wonderful ways that the divine essence is present everywhere. So now let's come to standing and continue. So we're going to start off with some exercises, some warm-ups to move the joints, to warm up the joints. For the first one, we're just going to continue that along the vein of purifying. So this one is to purify ourselves from within. Imagine all the impurities tumbling out of the organs. So as you're doing this, when you do this, you're bouncing the belly button in and out. Feel the belly button against the front of the spine as fast as you can, and imagine everything being shaken. All the organs, imagine all the impurities tumbling out of the organs. At the end of it, we're doing this as you hold the breath out, so the lungs are empty. And at the end of it, we continue to have your lungs empty, but we push the belly button in front of the spine for a moment. And then when we can't do it anymore, we just come back up. So if you can't do as long as I can, like the fast, the belly button moving, then you can do that breath retention when you're ready. The breath retention out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, breathe out. Empty lungs completely. Relax your belly muscles and start to pump the belly button in and out. As fast as you can. Now push the belly button in front of the spine. The whole area underneath the rib basket hollows out. Keep holding the breath out. Imagine feeling the belly button push right through the lower back, the heart between the shoulder blades. And come back up. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Again, take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax everything. And one more inhale. Exhale, relax. One more round. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Hollow out the area underneath the belly button, underneath the rib basket. Relax the belly muscles as much as you can. And again, pump the belly button in and out. Now, again, keep holding the breath out as you push the belly button in from the spine. The area underneath the rib basket feels as though everything got sucked out by a vacuum. Come back up. Breathe in. Breathe out. So now let's continue with moving the body a little bit. Start with the hands on the hips and circle the head. Move the head all around, the ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. And go the other direction now. Now inhale, arms up, exhale down. Continue. Inhale straight up, spread the fingers. Exhale, pull the arms down, firm fists as the hands come down. Now forward, inhale, reach out. Exhale, snap it back in to the shoulders. Now arm swings back and forth. Try to get your arms behind the ears. And then circle the arms in opposite directions. One arm going down, one arm going up. And then back to swinging. And now see if you can do other way. So if you get messed up, don't worry about it. I think I messed up that time. So whatever arm is going up the last time, that one's going down and vice versa. Good. Now inhale, reach arms across the chest, cross your arms. Exhale, throw them back. Inhale, exhale. Loosen up the shoulder joints. We try to move the joints in every which way possible. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and throw the body down. Allow the body to just slap against the belly to hit the thighs. Lengthen and drop. One more. Just stay down for a moment to allow the body start bouncing and shaking. And then roll your way back up. Good. Next one, there's a squat to work the legs a little bit. But if you have trouble with your knees, don't go down all the way. Go down as far as you can, as your body allows you to. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Now come back up. Bring the elbows out to the side, like arms, cactus arms, and we're going to twist from side to side. If you know Kapalabhati, we just did that, you can do that. So each time you turn, you complete the turn on each side, you exhale, the inhale happens at the center. Really work the waist, look all the way around you. Turn your head completely. And back to the center. Next one. 4 movements. Again, there's a squat. So again, come down only as far as you as is suitable for you, and you can jump up. You can jump up as well. If you can't jump, if you have ankle or knee issues, you can just lift your heels. Okay, so it looks like this. Inhale up, up. Exhale down. Inhale, jump up. Exhale down. Continue with me. Practice with enthusiasm. One more. Next one. Arms start at the height of the shoulders. Inhale, circle around to the front. Exhale, pull in and punch right back out. It's a nice little bounce. Whoops. Next one, the arms start in a down position. Circle in a quarter. Inhale, go to the front. Exhale, pull in and drop the arms down right away. Good. Next one. Open up the feet a little bit so that the toes are beyond the edge of the mat. Their feet are sort of like pointing beyond the edges of the mat. Going from side to side. Left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bend to the right. Right arm up, inhale. Exhale, bend to the left. And then come back up. Next one is the same movement, but the breathing's a little bit different. Left arm up, inhale, and then go to the right. Lean into it. Come back up on the exhale. Inhale, come up, hold the breath, go to the left. Stretch. And then come back. Inhale, extend. Go even further in the stretch if you can. Imagine had little weights attached to each fingertip. Sink into the stretch. Come back. Go to the other direction. And then come back up. Make like grass blowing in the wind. Nice smooth movements. Coming up, no jerks, no aggressive, loud movements to disturb and to agitate the mind. Try to stay in the same temperament, ever calm. Be like the witness. The true self is actionless, unaffected, undisturbed. Remember, all beings are experiencing this through you. If you're not used to moving in the morning, the body feels stiff. Just go according to your condition. With constant practice, the body will learn to move with ease. Adhere, just stay with it. And you can modify the movements. You don't have to always do the same movements that I present. If you have a modification of that feels better for you, then by all means, listen to your intuition. Not all movements are equal, so some are a little bit easier than others for you. But be willing to be receptive to other experiences. The meaning of life is the goal of life is to experience everything. And this is what helps us to gain knowledge that helps us to eventually remove the patterns that cause pain and suffering. So cat-cow, inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, telescope the trunk out of the hips, the neck out of the shoulders. Exhale. Try not to jam up the lower back or the back of the neck. Inhale. Exhale. And when you bring your chin in, try not to shut out the air completely. Inhale. Keep a little bit of space in your throat so you can continue to allow the air to pass. Inhale. Exhale. Really round your back. Feel the shoulder blades falling away from one another. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The movements, the exercises don't have to be complicated. You don't have to do fancy poses. Do the poses that are accessible to you, and do them with enthusiasm, do them with devotion. Share the benefits of well-being. So this is for the upper back, the anchor down to the thighs, the hips, and the tops of the feet. If you can, join your hands together behind the back. If not, just keep your hands separate. If you can, when you squeeze your palms together, this helps to pull yourself up a little bit higher. Okay, so engage the buttocks and upper back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. And up, down, 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 up, down. This one, if you can, hold it up, and down. Relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Next one we do, this is rocking back and forth, or just so stretching the whole body from the legs all the way to the toes. Legs all the way to the fingertips all the way to the toes. So you can raise both legs and both arms at the same time and come back down. You can alternate left arm with the right leg and just do this type of movement. If you engage your buttocks and just really stretch through the legs. If you can go even further, you can raise both legs up, and as the hips and the chest come down, propel the body up and throw the body up. So don't use your hands too much, you're just there for a light touch. So inhale, it looks like this. Continue with me in whichever one you like to do. And then conclude. As you get into that one, as you do more of it, you really build up the momentum to really come up high. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so now come back into child's pose. Four movements for this one. Your seat behind the heels to start. Inhale, round your back coming up. Exhale, drop your hips in your hands, chest forward, the head goes back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, the seat goes back. Inhale, come up, uncoiling. As you push the chest forward, the neck telescopes out of the shoulders. Inhale, come back up and back. Inhale, rounding. Exhale, flexing the spine. Inhale, back to rounding. Exhale, flattening and lengthening. Up. Forward, roll the shoulders down. Keep the neck long so the head can move back more. And back. Inhale, come up. And forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, try to move in a way that keeps the spine free of kinks. Inhale, up. So move gracefully. Push the chest all the way forward. Telescope the trunk out of the hips again. Inhale, come up. And back. Imagine the serpent moving. Inhale. Always gracefully. Imagine having a boundless range of motion. And back. The head. Inhale, back up. And back. Inhale. The shoulders roll down so the neck can come all the way up. The head can go back even more. Inhale. And back. Exhale. Up. And forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The movement's powerful yet graceful. And forward with the chest. Open your heart in every sense. Up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You become what you see in your imagination. Be like that powerful serpent, regal and wise, fierce and fearless. Come forward with the chest, the head goes back. Come up, inhale again, and back. And one more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. Rest for a moment, breathe in, and breathe out. Next one, we're going to hold the cobra this time when we attain the pose. So there's a few ways of entering. You can do the same one where you're coming into baby plank, come up and then drop your hips down. This is all done in an inhale. Take your head back, hold the pose, hold the breath. And then come back. Or you can glide right into it. Your seat comes back, you slide your belly down along the mat. Push into your hands, chest forward, the head goes back. Hold the breath, hold the pose. And then back on the exhale. Come forward any which way you like. Imagine you're pulling the floor towards you if you're gliding. Again, the shoulders down, don't lose your neck. Take your head all the way back. And exhale. Inhale. Pull your elbows in towards the side of the body. Point the fingers out. You might be able to propel the body forward with more ease and power. And back. Exhale. Glide forward again. Once you're in a pose, hold the breath. Everything stops. All the attention at the space between your eyebrows. And back, exhale. Glide again. Graceful as possible. Hold the breath. All activity of the mind, the body, and emotions as though they were frozen. And back, exhale. Glide again. Come up, shoulders back, chest all the way open. And back. Next one, working the legs a little bit. And the fingertips. Try to get your hips between your right behind your hands. Press into your fingertips. Open up your legs a little bit. Bring your toes up towards your head. And back. Doesn't matter if your toes don't touch. Just moving again. Different joints. Feel as though you're squeezing socks behind your knees. Really point your toes. Push into your fingertips to get more height. And back. Keep your hips on the ground. If your hips are up, you won't be able to get, it seems like you can, you'll bring yourself a little bit further away from your feet. Good, and back. Try to get as much height in the torso. Everything from the tops of the legs up off the ground. Let you push into your fingertips to get even more height. And back. Come forward again. Try to get your hips right behind your hands. Push into your fingertips. Hold the breath, hold the pose. Really reach with your toes. And back, exhale. And again, come forward. So sometimes the toes cramp up if you really, so just again, do according to your conditions and just relax. You don't have to do as many as I do. You stop when you need to, and then come down, child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Now we're going to come back onto the belly and then flip onto your back. So, tucking now. Inhale, reach out through the fingertips and the toes and come into a tuck. Squeeze the knees in towards the shoulders. Pull the shoulders up off the floor. Try to get your from the shoulders to the knees. Inhale, back out. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, try to bring your forehead to your knees as well. Come in tight. Inhale, stretch. Hollow out the navel. Exhale, pull in. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze tight. Inhale. And squeeze. Inhale. And tuck. Inhale. And tuck. Inhale, extend. This time, hold your breath as you tuck. Try to pull your shoulders up a little bit higher. Use your elbows to press against the knees, one hand from the other if you need to bring your hands close, your forehead closer to your hands. And release again. If your forehead doesn't touch, no big deal. Reach up. Just do your best. Come up and tuck. All the muscles coming together at the center. And release. Inhale, stretch. Pull in and tuck. Squeeze tight. Bring your attention to the space between the eyebrows. Release, exhale. Inhale, elongate again. Even the toes and fingers elongate. And then come in to the tuck. Hold the breath. And release. Inhale, reach. Hold the breath and tuck, even though body's making some efforts. Remain unconcerned. The mind stays ever calm, unaffected. Release. Inhale. And come into that tuck. Squeeze as tight as you can. Release, exhale. Inhale. And tuck. Release. Last time. Inhale. And tuck. No matter what the body's doing, eventually, whether you're moving, whether you're still, whatever you're experiencing, you remain like the witness, undisturbed. And release. Take a moment to relax. Take a deep breath in. Imagine the best breath coming right into the body, into the skin. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout the body. Send it out to all beings at the same time. Good, so now just rolling. So there's just roll on the back. You can take hold of the backs and knees, keep your knees bent and just roll out the spine. If you can bring your arms back behind you, the feet behind you, and then bring the legs down. Once the heels touch down, try to sit up without lifting your heels from the ground. Come forward and all the way back. If you can do it without bending your legs and your arms, then go ahead. Use your core to come up. Drape your body over your legs and come all the way back. Try to move always at the same speed, no jerks. If you're in the tuck position you do it, try to do it as gracefully as possible. Control the movements. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Lengthen the feet, go all the way behind your head if you can. You'll come down, but wherever you're doing is perfect if you're just doing your best. Good. After this one, we're going to roll into standing position. So when the legs are back behind the head, when you're ready to come down, bend your knees, plant your feet, and come right up to standing. And then we'll come to the front of the mat to continue with sun salutations. Okay, so now come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskar, hands to the heart. Remember to continue to offer up the practice. Imagine we're all together, moving like a school of fish, stay in the collective mind of offering. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Come down, bend your knees if you need to. Bring your hands flat on the ground, right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank, knees, chest, forehead down. Glide right into your cobra pose, roll the shoulders back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat, allow the head to go down. And then the right foot comes forward to the hands. If that's a difficult transition, lower the left knee down, and the foot doesn't come all the way forward. Just use the right hand to push the foot forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come up, engage the buttocks and upper back. As you lean back, come back home. Go up and back again. And go down gracefully. Left foot goes back into the plank. Down we go, knees, chest, forehead. Glide right again into the cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Try to get your head down towards the ground. If you can touch, go ahead and touch your forehead to the ground. Left foot comes forward, shoulders move over the fingertips so the foot lands softly. Uttanasana, try to push your seat up as much as possible and line through heels. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then back home. Always all the movements done with devotion and love. Infuse all the movements with love and compassion. Right foot back into the plank, down, and right through. If you can, lift your hips and knees up off the waist and ground. Upward facing dog, charge the legs. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then the right foot forward, feet together, Uttanasana. Come up and back. And hands back to the heart. Have a strong sense of duty to serve all beings through the practice. This is transformative force. Left foot goes back into the high plank. Down we go. And come all the way through. Again, if you can, lift your hips away from the ground. Charge the legs. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come all the way up to standing, reach up and back home. Again, raise your arms up, stretch, and come down. Right foot back into the plank, down with the knees. This time the seat goes back, glide right through into upward facing dog. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And hands back to the heart. Again, keep going. Move forward in every way, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Have a strong desire to evolve. Onto the asana, into the high plank. Bring your knees down and seat back, and come right through. Press into your hands, push into your hands, lift your hips away from the ground. Upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then left foot comes forward, feet together, bow down in own humbleness. Come right up. Every posture has a particular consciousness. Tap into it, hands to the heart. Go up and back, open yourself up to divine grace. Let's add on now. Bend your knees, your belly on your thighs, push your legs back with your body, hands over your head. Then the right foot goes back knee down. Kapiyasana. Raise your arms up. Try to get your arms behind your ears if you can, or beside your ears. Come back down into the high plank. You can do the same entry or bring your seats back, and this time as you come through, try not to drop your legs down. Push your elbows into sides, body, push roots your toes, right up. Of course, according to your strength and your abilities and your joints. Adho Mukha Svanasana, right leg up. Bring the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Reach up and back. Drop your shoulders. Pull your arms back. Swing your hands behind the back without touching fingers to the ground if possible. Bring the left foot in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. And back home. Go up and back. And then bend your knees, your belly on your thighs. Push your seat all the way up. Keep your belly with your thighs. Try to move your chest further down though. Left foot goes back. Kapiyasana. Push your seat all the way forward. Bring your arms back. Open up the front of the body. Come back into high plank. Bring your seats back if you can. Come through again without dropping your legs to the ground. Push into your elbows into the sides of the body. Push into your toes and your hands. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg swings up, and the foot comes between the hands. Back knee down, drop down to seat, reach up and back, stretch. Swing your hands behind the body, feet together, softly. Come right up to standing. Move again according to your conditions. Back home. Again, raise your arms up, bury your mind deep in the heart, watch your body move with even more power, grace, and ease. Push your chest into your thigh, your belly into your thighs, your chest goes down. Head, forehead to the shins if your legs are straight. The right foot back. Back knee down, Kapiyasana. Stretch from the fingers all the way down to the toes. Come back into high plank. Any edge you like into upward facing dog. Change it up a few times. You can even do chaturanga if you know that transition into Adho Mukha Svanasana. The right leg up and bring the foot between the hands. Back knee down, drop down to the seat. The trick is to move the joints every day. The body gets used to moving and then it moves more efficiently. Uttanasana. You learn all sorts of tricks through the practice to move efficiently so you can stay in postures once it's time to hold them. And then the mind can come to stillness. Bend your knees, your belly on your sides, push your seat up, the top of the head close to the feet. Left foot goes back. Kapiyasana, reach up and back. Lean away from the front leg. Come right back into high plank. And then back and through. Or again, modify according to your needs. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg comes up. And then step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, drop down to seat, reach up and back, stretch. Come forward, swing your hands behind the back, right foot to the left, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back, stretch. And come back home. Good, so let's take pause here. From the heart, inhale, from the heart to the love, up to the crown. Hold the breath, imagine the love going out to all beings everywhere, like the sun that shines down on everything equally. Exhale back down to the heart, remain established in divine, unconditional love for all beings everywhere. And release. Good, so now let's continue with some other poses. We'll incorporate the balance poses right in our sequence of warrior poses and other such poses. So it's to practice coordination and balance and grace, moving gracefully from one form to the other. Standing in the middle of the mat, facing out along the edge of the mat. Fingertips in line with your elbows, jump or step your feet apart. Go to your left, Virabhadrasana. Sink down into your hip. So you want to have your front leg at a right angle. If you're more flexible, go a little bit more forward, your knee over the toes. Maybe if you swing your arms down, your fingers might be able to touch eventually. Now enter into the consciousness of a warrior, strong, powerful, determined, always steadfast in her duty. Good, now turn forward, spin on the back foot. If you can't turn your hip all the way, you can lift the back heel, turn on the ball of the foot. You can do it that way if you like. Look up between the hands. Good, now from here, we're going to launch ourselves forward. So get your belly over the thigh, head come forward a little bit, into gliding eagle, bring the right leg up. Your head comes about the height of the knee. Your belly can start on the side, but then try to lift your chest a little bit so that you can curve your back. Try to get your foot higher than the hip. Left hand comes down in front of your left foot. Turn to the right, Ardha Chandrasana. Try to get your right leg up higher. Point the toes, your fingers stay together on the right hand. If you need to modify, if you can't open up, you can bring your hand on a block or you can come onto your left knee if you like. Good. Now from here, bring the right foot back down, back into Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to go into your Paririta Paschakonasana. Turn towards the front, lift the heel, right arm up, go to the left. Try to go down as far as you can. Try to get your armpit on the outside of the knee. Left hand push into your right. So your hands are maybe at the shoulders at this point, but keep pushing down. Keep Bring the belly up, the center of the chest. Eventually you'll come maybe to the thumbs, behind your thumbs. Left shoulder goes back. If you have a bind, go ahead. Turn more to your left as far as you can and bend your wrists. Fingers come towards inside the wrists. Use your left hand to guide the hand underneath. And then the left arm goes over your back. Join your hands together. Pull on the hands. If it's too much, lower the right knee down. Push the left shoulder all the way back. Look up. Every once in a while, even if your knee's on the ground, see if you can pick up your knee. Push through the back heel. Now from here, look forward. Left hand on the outside of the foot, index finger on the outside of the heel. Raise your right leg up. So from here, you want to bring the right hand close to your foot as possible. Your belly stays with your thigh. Keep your left knee bent if you need to. Eventually bring the right hand on the foot as well. Maybe, or just take the index, all but just the index finger off the ground. Gaze just beyond your toes. Your hip is in line with your heel. Okay. Doesn't matter the height of the leg. Just do your best. If it's really tight, if you have really tight hamstrings, just bend your leg. Bring your knee up as high as you can. Now we're going to come back down with the right leg, right into Kapiyasana. Drop your seat all the way forward, hands up, and pull the arms back again. Chest nice and open and up. Push the lower back up and in. If it's too much, just bring your hands on the knee, push into your knee as though you're trying to push your knee away, and lean back. Keep pressing the lower back up and in. Try not to create wrinkles in the back, lower back, or the back of the neck. Now come out of the pose. Bring your hands on the inside left foot. Left foot moves out to the edge of the mat. Lift the knee up and just scooch back and forth. Try to get your hips to sink. Push one more time through the back foot. Lower the knee down. Flatten out the toes. If your hips are low enough, fall onto your right forearm. Then roll back to your left. Make sure your knee's not going out to the side, or this type of thing is not happening. Keep your shin vertical, your knee and your foot in the same line, straight up and down. When your hips are down, the rest of the body will come down more easily. The pelvis, the belly, maybe in the chest. If you're right flat on the ground, bring a foot on the hand on the foot, your armpit right against the ankle. If your hips are too high still, just keep sinking your hips down. Imagine doing a cobra. Keep lengthening, keep pulling your telescope your head and chest forward. Eventually your body will come closer and closer to the ground. Maybe eventually on your forearms and then all the way down. Look like a lizard, just sunning yourself on a warm earth. Now coming back onto your hands. From here, turn to long edge of the mat, and come all the way up. You can go to the other side now. So turn to the right, Virabhadrasana, nice and strong pose. Enter into the consciousness of what you're representing, the mighty warrior. Virabhadrasana 1, look up between the hands as though you're saying, I'm yours, grant me higher devotion. Now getting ready to come into your flying eagle, gliding eagle. Your belly over the thigh. You can take your fingertips to the ground to start. Raise your left leg up. And then bring your arms out to the side. Keep your belly with your thigh. But then push your chest forward a little bit. Maybe the belly floats a little bit up off the thigh. But keep your left foot as high as you can. Your head about the height of the knee. Imagine you're soaring through the air, gliding on the surface of the ocean. And now bring your right hand down to the ground in front of your right foot. Open up to your left. Ardha Chandrasana. I think I'm coming out of the line of the vision of the camera. So I'll move back a little bit. Stretch. Good. Now from here, we're going to come back down into Virabhadrasana 2. A nice soft landing. Move with grace. Look over the front hand. Getting ready for Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. Turn towards the front edge of the mat. Lift the back heel. Go to your right. If you push your knee, angle the toe of the knee towards the left a little bit and push against the leg of the right hand, you might be able to get your left arm a little bit further down. Again, your hands, if they're at the shoulder, keep pushing down. At the same time, with the elbow pressing against the outside of the knee, maybe you get the belly up higher over your thigh, the center of the chest comes to your thumbs. You can stay here, you can bring the back knee down if you're having trouble bouncing, or go into bind. Turn as much as you can towards the right. Sometimes it's easier actually to take the bind when your knee is up off the ground. You have more space underneath the thigh for the arm to go underneath. Pull on the hands, lift the chest, turn the face and chest all the way up. From here, release. Now again, the right hand comes to the foot, index finger pressing against the heel. Your left hand comes right beside your foot, stay on the fingertips, and raise the left leg up as high as you can, or the knee again. Keep your belly to your thigh, and then see if you can take one finger up off of the top until you're just on the index finger. Maybe eventually hold your breath and bring your left fingertip on the inside of the heel. Gaze just beyond your toes. So you want to have your hip in the same line as your heel eventually, so you can find a balance to get your both hands on the foot. Keep trying. Never give up the effort. Good. And bring the left foot down. Be grateful for what you can do. And don't worry, you'll get the chance to experience everything again on the path to self-realization. Wherever you end up in this life, in the next life, you pick up you're in the same spot. So just keep going as far as you can. So in the next life, you're already in the highest places possible to continue. Now break the pose into lizard. Move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. Push back and forth off the back foot. Send the foot back, left foot is back, far back as possible. Lower the knee down. And then again, if your hips are low enough, fall onto your left forearm and roll back to the right. Try to get both sides of your hips anchored down. So with your knees away from your shoulder or your foot sliding away beyond the line of the knee, then both sides of the hips won't be down equally. Try to have both sides of your hips equally close to the ground. And telescope your head and chest forward. If you're flexible and your hips are down, see if you can get your belly and your chest and your chin to come down. Fix your gaze, merge with the floor, and be like a lizard, not a care in the world, just bathing in the sun contentedly. And what brings contentment is the understanding of the ethical rules. Everything is perfect. Everything they're passing through is according to the divine plan. And back. So now from here, just step the right foot back to left for plank pose. Come into Vasisthasana. Left hand moves a little bit to the right and turn to the right. Now if you're starting to drop into your shoulder, your hips are starting to sag, might be an indication that you need a little bit more support. Just bring your left knee down underneath your hip and do it from here. Make sure your left arm stays nice and long, fully extended. Your hips are high. Come back to plank. Go on the other hand now. Turn to your left. Just turn on your feet. Yeah, on the edges of your feet, your ankles can stay crossed. Now come back to plank. Let's do one more round. If you want, you can do the same pose or do a variation. If you're on your knee, You can see if you can lift your leg up, bend your knee, take hold of the foot. If you're in this pose, you can float your right leg up. You can bring it onto your leg, push your hip up, or slide your foot back alongside your left knee, turn on the left foot at the same time. Slide your left foot in a little bit, make sure the inside edge of the foot is down, wild thing. If you can, really push your hip forward and up towards your foot. See if you can take your right foot up off the ground. If you can, take hold of the knee, bring it close to your belly, and maybe you can slide your hand up to the foot, lock your right leg up and left leg in place. Come back down, go on the other side, on the other hand now. Keep your hip high, move back to plank, go onto your right hand now, turn to your left. Again, any variation you can, which includes just staying here, or move into your other variations. Same one as last time, maybe staying here, maybe here. Push your inside edge of foot down for this one as well. Or bring your foot back alongside the knee, head to turn on the foot a little bit, the toes in the same line as the rest of the leg. If it's turned too much, the toes turn too much to the right, it'll be hard to balance. Push your hip all the way up, inside edge of the foot is down. See if you can practice taking your left foot up. Bring your knee as close to your body's posture, your belly as possible, so you can take your knee. If you want to take the foot, slide your hand up to the foot. If you bring your leg up first straight, sometimes it's hard to reach the foot. You lose a balance before you find the foot. Try different tricks. Come back down into the plank. From here, lower the knees down. Sit either on your heels or between your heels, Supta Virasana. So if you can't go all the way down, just go back as far as you can. Your hands come back. And just try to flatten out. Just soften your knees for this pose. Or sit between your heels. Come down further if you can. Some of you can come onto the forearms. Some of you can come right onto your back. Go ahead if you can. And take hold of your opposite elbows. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Relax. Charge the body again. Inhale, imagine the best of best coming into the body. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout. Feel rejuvenated, feel recharged. Now press into if you're down on your back, press your hands into the soles of the feet, close to your heels, dig into your elbows and lift your shoulders up. Bring your head into your chin into your chest and come back up. Right into headstand now. If you don't have a headstand and you don't want your feet to leave the ground, just bring your forehead in front of your knees and just lift your seat up simply like this. This is still an inversion. Try to get your seat over your knees. If it's too much pressure on the back of the neck, just move your head forward. Come more on the top of the head. Imagine to push the belly button right through the lower back and the heart between your shoulder blades again. If you feel more comfortable, those who have a headstand, go ahead. You don't have to wait. Okay, your fingers in line with your knees. Lift your seats. Walk your feet towards your wrists, just behind your wrists, and just try to get your seat over your shoulders. Lift your heels a little bit. Try to get just below the knees against your elbows, and then hold your breath. See if you can pull your toes away from the ground, even if it's just momentarily or one foot to the other. Eventually, push into your hands. You might be able to lift your feet up higher. Or you can even bring one foot on the ground between your, a little bit behind your hands, in center between your hands, 1 foot back, lift up your heel. I personally like to open up my stance a little bit more, your fingers wide and fingers facing away, equal spread, finger stand. This makes a more open position for the foot behind you to go back a little bit more. Your chest is open, and then you have more ability to get your leg up and back. And as you push to the back foot, your right foot will come up, or your front foot will come up. Keep your legs bent so you stay compact. Okay, so if you'd rather do it on your forearms, a little less pressure for the head, and you are distributing the weight, feel free to come to a chair or a wall, your feet at the base of the wall, or against the legs of the chair, elbows underneath your shoulders. Don't move your elbows. Make sure you can hold the outer arms easily. Interlace your fingers, place your head in front of your hands, and then once your seat comes up, your head rolls in the right place, right in your hands. Hands are like a helmet. One foot on the wall about the height of the hip. Look at the wall. Make sure you bring your heel about the height of your hip. Eyeball it. Or on the seat of the chair. Again, your foot, one foot goes back behind you. Drop it towards the ground. Make sure you're close enough to the wall so you're not reaching. If you're reaching, you're always trying to reach for the wall, and then you lose. You don't want to come away from the wall. So the intent is try to come away from the wall, so you actually come closer so you can pull your toes more easily away from the wall or the chair. Now, keep your mind still. Concentrate on the center of the forebrow. The seat of divine perception is there. Whatever stance you're in, try to bring your attention inward. Start to make your way down, split your legs if you like, or come into tuck. Come down with control. And then right into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out, relax. Then arms go forward, slide all the way through into your cobra again. Gracefully. Keep on trying to be like a shapeshifter moving between the forms. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Push into your hands, lift your seat up. Allow the head to drop. Stay here for a moment. Soften the back body. Sink the heart towards the ground. Look like a dog, humble and loyal towards its master. Be loyal yourself to all beings, serving all beings through your practice, and ultimately everything that we do. Now lift your heels, look between the hands, jump forward to the front of the mat, arms out in front, lift your heels if you can, keep your shoulders back, push into base of your toes, come down a little bit lower, your seat about the height of the knees, try to keep your shoulders back over your hips like you're sliding down a wall. Lower down slowly. Your seat now right on top, right over your heels. Tuck your chin in. Land your seat very softly behind your heels. One graceful movement. Just roll back into plow pose. Catch your seat with your hands, your back of your hands, your seat over your shoulders, maybe behind the shoulders. Your knees on over top your shoulders. And you can feel free to stay here if you want to go into shoulder stand. Bring your hands behind your back. Just move your arms as much as possible behind you. You have to scooch from side to side. Join your hands together, wrists pressed together. Try to get your elbows close together as possible behind the back. And bring your hands on your back. This will give you more height when you come up. With one leg and then the other. Try to get your toes in line with your chin. Push your feet all the way up. Now here, as Dharmaji says, allow the veins of the legs to rest. Bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. And again, find quietness in the mind. Leave the body alone. Eventually it becomes possible to meditate in all forms if you surrender to the form, if you put yourself in their body, their mind, become one with the form. And you too will find the ease, just as though you were that being. Now slowly hinge at the hips. Come down with your feet behind your head again in plow pose, landing them softly.
Reach your feet all far away as possible from the head to get a nice back stretch. Or alternatively, bring your knees down, try to get them beside your head. Maybe even try to get your knees to the ground beside your head. And then your hands come behind your back, palms down. So you can get, as your legs are coming down, keep them the thighs connected to the belly as long as possible. Your hands move closer as your seat comes down. Thumb tips eventually touching, your index fingers touching. Remember, your palms are facing down. Eventually your seat lands on your wrists. Lower your legs down until you're halfway and then stop. Charge your legs. Push into your lower arms. Lift your back up off the ground. Move the elbows in a little bit more. Push your chest up as high as you can. The top of the head comes to the ground. About a streak of breath. Breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. If you need to, you bring your feet all the way down. Now stay with your head in the same place. Bring your feet down right close to your seat, right, and then your edge of feet in line with your hips. Take your hands out from underneath. If you can, bring your hands beside and behind your head a little bit. Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. If it's too much, just do bridge. But Urdhva Dhanurasana, your fingers facing away, fingers equally spread. Lift your seat up, push into your fingertips, and bounce your head back a little bit closer towards your feet. Turn your hands around at this point. Turn your fingers out to slightly, not too much. And then see if you can take your head up off the ground. Upward facing bow. Again, if you need to, you can modify and do bridge pose. Rock back and forth if you like. Stretch. If you're in bridge pose, try to ensure your knees are behind your toes. So you push your chest closer to your chin, tilt the hips forward, and try to get your shins vertical. Lift up a little bit higher, and then come back down. Rest on your back for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Extend your legs in front. Now from here, arms over the head. Throw your legs behind your head again, coming back into plow. You can bend your knees again if you need to. Roll back. If you're in plow pose, take hold of your ankles or big toes, or the backs of your knees. Bend your knees again. Try, if you like, come into boat pose without touching your feet to the ground in between. So hold your breath and come up. If you have your feet, try not to bend your legs for an extra challenge. Good. Now stay here. Let go of the feet. If it's too much, you can bend your legs and bring your arms beside your body. If you can, keep holding on to your feet. Push your chest up as though you try to get your chest higher than the knees. Good. Allow the head to come back a little bit. Now, hold your breath. Let go of your feet. Try not to allow your legs to come away from your body. Now, boat pose. You can bring your legs a little bit further back. Bend your knees again if you need to. Breathe very fast to the nose. Bring your feet down. Keep your knees bent if you need to. You can either wrap your arms around, hug your legs to your body like so, or take hold of your feet. If you know you can straighten your legs right on the ground without detaching your body from the thighs, then as Dharmaji says, don't waste your time. Go ahead, go to the extent that you can. Imagine trying to get your chest below the knees. From the base of the spine, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. When you exhale, feel more weight sinking into your legs. Watch the movement of the breath. Sometimes it's good to have something to focus on if your mind tends to wander a lot. Watch the movement of the breath. If the mind starts to wander, be unconcerned and unjudging. Just keep trying to come back to that visualization of the breath moving. From the base of the spine to the crown and back.
Roll back. Purvottanasana or bench pose. You're doing Purvottanasana, your legs stay mostly straight, but slide the heels in a little bit so that when you push your hips up, if your legs are straight, sometimes it's hard to get the toes down. So if you bring heels in a little bit, roll thighs towards another and really push into your hands, push the shoulders back, and the chest comes higher than the shoulders. Otherwise, if your heels are up, you tend to sag. It's hard to hold the pose. If it's too much, bring your heels underneath your knees. The head goes level with the rest of the body, and breathe very fast. Lower the seat down, cross your ankles, and come all the way up. Bend your toes under, rabbit pose. You can stay with your hands on the seat, push into your seat, pull down at the same time. Inhale, lift the chest, allow the head to go back. You can stay straight just like this, concentrating on getting your chest up high as possible, your head back. If you can, push into with your toes, engage your core and your thighs, and then see if you can rock back. Stay rigid like a board. Hinge at the knees. At some point, if you get your shoulders behind your feet and can stay there, right hand on your right heel, left hand on your left heel, bring your heels together, baby fingers lock, and then if you can, start to lean forward. Your hips dropping forward, it's as though you're going to fall on your thighs. Push your chest all the way up, away from the ground, to keep the lower back long, no wrinkles in the lower back. Now, if you're in that rabbit pose, go back, lean back again, your shoulders behind your feet, one hand at a time on the seat. Push into your seat and come back up. From here, hands in front of your knees. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, rounding the back. Inhale again. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come back onto your heels. Bring your legs in front. Extend your legs. Left hand to the outside of the right shin, right hand behind your back. Push your lower back up and in. Inhale, lift through the chest. Turn to the right. You can do other twists if you'd rather. If you're doing this one, try to keep your heels together. If one heel is behind the other, push the one that's behind forward to meet the other one. Keep your chest nice and open. Eventually, your shoulders in line with the long edge of the mat. Look over the back shoulder. Try not to lean back. This is not doing much for you. Okay, so keep your back straight. Inhale, lift up higher. Exhale, turn more. Come back to the center. Left hand to the center of the back. Right hand to the other side of the left shin. Push your lower back up and in. And turn to the left. Push against the shin with your hand. Push into lower back with your left arm. Keep your lower back lifted. Lie on the back. Shavasana. Feel everything sink. Relax everything. Take a deep breath in. Imagine you're attracting all the tension wherever it resides in the body into the middle of the body. Exhale, just allow it to just funnel out to the body. Make your body receptive, receiving the best of the best now. Imagine it all coming in like big waves coming onto the beach. Flood the body with all that goodness and direct it right to the center of the chest, the right side of the physical heart, the location of the spiritual heart where God resides. Make an offering of everything that is brought in to God, the Divine One who resides in each and every one equally. So therefore, everything that you bring to God goes out to all beings. Imagine on the exhale that's flooding, it's going out everywhere to all beings. On the inhale, it keeps on coming in. Welcome it in with gratitude. It's coming in from all beings everywhere. Probably many of them doing the same as what you're doing. Cultivate a great reverence and love for all beings. And be grateful for all that they share with you, and do likewise. Remember, the highest form of karma yoga, of selfless service, is to share knowledge, especially spiritual knowledge, most pointedly the knowledge and the understanding of what the true self is: infinite, immutable, stainless, eternally present, never born, never dies. With that knowledge of what the true self is, we become inspired and motivated to bring ourselves closer to that image. And we try to bring others to that same state, which brings about much bliss and feeling that we're all together, all one. Now get ready to share that with all beings now. Through your interactions in your day-to-day life, continue to share in a way that brings always the best to them, reflecting the best of yourself. So now make your way back to seated position. We'll close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it out to all beings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like, just do a little bit more Shavasana to allow the benefits to further integrate. Thank you for joining. See you soon.